And we're back, baby! Alright, welcome back to Surviving Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm your host, Frosty8536, and it has been a while. So, we are back with Horizon Zero Dawn. This is the second season, so things are going to rev up a little bit. To my best knowledge, the last episode that we had, we went into a cauldron and we unlocked a few metallic creatures. So that is amazing. Okay. Right, and the previous series that we had was...
Alright. What did you want to discuss?
You're an outlander, which is good. But a Nora, which might be bad. Do you fear the ruins of the old ones like many in your tribe?
No, although some can be dangerous.
Then you may have come across what I seek. In your travels, have you found strange vessels, emblazoned with symbols of the old ones? They consist of a hollow cylinder with a crescent handle affixed at both ends. If you bring me these vessels in sets of 4, I will gladly trade what I have for them.
So you're interested in the old ones?
More than interested. I study every ancient artifact I can get my hands on. But years of study have made me too comfortable at my desk. I can't even bear the sun, if the truth be known. I don't know how I'll manage to take a partner. My family presses me for an heir.
Don't look at me.
Oh, no, I'm not looking. In fact, my father already has someone he wants me to wed. She doesn't interest me. I wish I had a brother to carry this burden. I would rather be left to my precious little vessels.
What sort of ritual were these vessels made for?
I'm convinced they were used in conjunction with each other in sets. Some people believe they were used for tea ceremonies. Others think they held sacred essences and oils for worship. But I believe they were used for the solemn custom of shaving one's beard. One for water, one for lotion, and so on. Each fluid in its special vessel, majestically applied to the face at each stage of the rite. It must have been breathtaking. But which vessel was used for which? I have to know. I have to continue my research.
Are you sure people didn't just drink out of them?
Drink? Out of such finely crafted earthenware? Don't be ridiculous. Yes, trade quickly. I have work to do.
Okay, so not only are we trying to save the world, but we are looking for artifacts for money. So we definitely in the trades department when it comes to this. So anyway, as I was saying, in the previous, or at the end of June, we ended off Star Trip Mass Effect, but it was the first season. So if you're enjoying season 1 of Mass Effect Star Trip, do not worry, do not fret, because after this season, we will be going back to Mass Effect, and it will be Mass Effect 2 that we'll be going through.
Yes, I'm happy to. I will leave you to the hunt. Be sure to delve into the ruins. Ah, you're everything I'm not.
Okay, so we do know that there are certain places that we can go. I see there are some Banuk artifacts and metal flowers. Now, the only reason that we can see them is because we've bought a map to these places. Also, I see that there's a focus event over there.
Strong,
and
brave, active. Come, talk a spell.
Alright, and then we also see some other points of interest over there that we can go to.
Can you help me? You with the second sight, I need your help.
Oh, okay. Let's see what's going on over there.
Nora, please, I need to speak with you. You're the one the Vanguard has been crowing about. The Nora who tracks criminals and traitors with her second sight. If only you'd use it to help me. A thief raided my home and took my brother's sword.
Tell me about the robbery. Don't leave anything out.
It was brazen and professional. They took only the sword, my most valuable possession. The thief went out through the window and scared the shadow off my steward. Otherwise, it would have been a clean getaway.
Why would someone steal the sword?
It's priceless. Made from the burnished antler of a lancehorn, finely inlaid with studded stones all down the...
Okay, I get it.
Forgive me. That's not even why it's important. The 12th Sun King gave it to my brother for his military service. He was killed in battle during the liberation. I was saving it for my nephew who's stranded at Sunfall with the Carja in Shadow.
How did your nephew wind up in Sunfall?
Most of the old clergy backed the Mad Sun King, so when he fell, they ran out of fear of retribution. As an honor guard to a venerable priest, my nephew had no choice but to go with them. Now that my brother is gone, my nephew is my heir, so that sword really belongs to him. And after all he's been through, I won't be able to look him in the face if I don't get it back.
I'll see what I can do about the robbery.
Have a word with my steward if you need to. He saw the thief escape. And listen, all I want is the sword back. Meridian, and my family for that matter, has seen enough strife already. If I can get it back, all is forgiven. No retribution necessary.
Alright, it looks like we're also picking up some side quests. That is good. Alright, so over the past few months, I actually have been gaining some experience with this whole voiceover thing and seen some pros and cons to it. The reason why is I've also managed to play games while doing voiceovers simultaneously. So I'm doing voiceovers in basically in mid-game. Now, if you're not aware, with regards to this, what I'm doing is I'm doing a post voiceover, which means that I've already played this game, I've already beaten it. However, just wait, okay. However, I am now doing the voiceover over it. Now, there are pros and cons to doing that instead of doing it real time. So, let me give you shed some light in case you guys want to do voiceovers during a game or after a game. So the way that I do it is that it's all on the same channel with my capture device. So what that means is that before I start recording, I need to remember that the overall volume of the game and the volume of my mic, they sort of need to be balanced in a way that you can hear me, but you can also hear the game, which is, in that sense, a bit difficult. But if you can organize it correctly, then you should be fine. Okay, so now, and the good positive for that as well is that you can get my overall reaction, which is also a negative as well.
What did you want to talk about?
You were an outlander, no? An adventurer. I used to be one myself. I admit, I miss the beguiling colors of the wilds. Speaking of which, I wonder if you've come across a very special kind of flower. It's made of metal, like a machine. Other blossoms grow around them in amazing patterns. These gleaming beauties are very much in demand among my clients. If you bring me some, I have valuables to trade for them.
You said you were an adventurer.
Just so. The nobles of Meridian crave flowers for their balconies and gardens. So out I went, with bow and spear. I made my name by searching the wilds for the wildest blossoms. No bandit nor machine could keep me from those precious petals.
So what happened?
Love happened, my sweet. My paramour frets too much when I venture out. So now I collect flowers for those without such bonds.
Is it worth it? Being restrained like that?
Of course. Freedom is sweet, but the embrace of my beautiful Theridine is sweeter still.
These metal flowers, what are they exactly?
No one knows, but some say they began sprouting 20 years ago when the machine started to go mad. Perhaps they grow from the tears of the sun, for he has many faces, does he not? Wrathful one day, cool and patient the next, Perhaps he weeps for our suffering when his anger breaks. Ah, let us haggle over this beautiful bounty.
Okay, so this guy wants to see metal flowers and get locations for that, which is absolutely fine. So as I was saying, one of the biggest advantages, or for me a disadvantage, is that as I'm in mid-game, I'm concentrating so much on the game.
Till we meet again, my noble Nora. Everyone needs a splash of color in their lives.
Okay, so I'm concentrating so much on the game that sometimes I don't even talk, which is sort of you know, like, goes contrary to what a voiceover should be doing. But then you get my grunts and all of that. Okay, so in that sense, you're getting an authentic reaction, but you are also not hearing me that much. Now, the way that I do Surviving the Dawn and Star Trip is I do the post vocals. Now, the pros for that is that I can adjust the volume of the voiceover according to the background music, which means that when you're looking at this, you can see that well, basically what I'm trying to say, and now I've lost my thought, that when it comes to the voiceovers, I can adjust the volume according to that, so you can hear me, but then you can also hear the music and the sound effects and all of that. Another pro is that I'm free to speak to you as much as I want, because I'm not focused on the game, in the sense of playing the game at the same time as speaking, which is, you know, quite helpful.
You're looking for artifacts.
Yes, but I'm no profiteer. Sun King Avad has named me an envoy to the Banuk. I work on their behalf, looking for sacred relics to return to their homeland, Ben-Ur. I'm especially interested in wooden figures that are sometimes found near Banuk rock paintings. If you have any, I have valuables to trade for them.
You said the king named you an envoy to the Banuk?
Yes, I've been to Ben-Ur many times, and the Wirek chiefs trust me. I help them maintain diplomatic ties with Avad. Some say they're a mysterious people, but their ways make a lot of sense to me. All you have to do is be the best. Doesn't matter if you're born high or low, man or woman. They respect skill, not some fool notion of heritage.
I see the appeal.
I wish more Carja did. Anything they don't understand, they call backward or savage.
Tell me more about these Banuk figures.
Simple wood sculptures made by Arnak, a legendary hunter who was exiled from Ben-Ur for killing his chief. He left the figures near painted stones in places that reminded him of his homeland. Later, his tribe declared him innocent. Now they see him as a kind of wandering hero and want those figures back. I do what I can to help him get them, including trade for them, if you have any. You ready? Let's trade then.
Okay, so she's responsible for all the Banuk artifacts. That is quite interesting. All right, so that would mean that I'm more free to speak a lot more, so I can speak of maybe current events or something.
Come on back if you find any Banuk goods. Excuse me,
Will do.
Outlander? I'm looking for Banuk artifacts.
Okay, you've already spoken to me. The other thing is that I like about it is, yeah, then I can speak more about up-to-date things.
There, Outlander? Do you have relics to trade?
Now, the only con to that is that my reactions aren't authentic, in the sense of, as I'm playing, you're not getting a live reaction of what I'm experiencing.
Trade with you, Outlander.
So I'm actually watching it even as we speak, and I'm just commenting, you know, on that, which is great. For Surviving the Dawn, I actually have to speak a lot more than Star Trip, because Star Trip has a lot of quick time events,
complete adventurers, preferably with no friends or family.
Here we go.
Oi there, Outlander. Name's Vilgund. Did you come to the city looking for work? Good shards. Enough to buy garb more becoming of your...
Okay, stop there if you want me to hear you out.
I only meant a well-molded woman such as you.
Flirtatious.
I heard an interesting rumor about a Banuk camp. Tame machines, the rumor said. So I hired men to investigate. Just investigate, that's all. Those Banuk are canny, too canny. I paid up front. Well, half up front. I've had no word back.
So now you're hiring someone to find the last men you hired.
They're a sunk cost. This rumor's worth more to me.
So is there any more to the rumor about this camp?
The last bunch just wanted to know about the reward. Hey, you're a smart one. This camp isn't even big enough for a name up where the snow won't thaw. They say the Banuk there live alongside machines. Peaceful as you like. Keep them, use them, sing to them. If it's true, if we learn how they do it, think how valuable that would be to all the tribes.
When you say valuable, you mean they'd pay you for it.
Girl, I'm not made of straw.
What can you tell me about the Banuk?
The Banuk women. Snow witches all. Cold eyes, cold... They choose to live up there in Ban-Ur, in the ice. Trying to have a conversation, it's like chipping them out of the stuff. They prefer machines for company. That's why I'm putting my shards on this rumor.
Then they might not want outsiders to know about this place.
Their mystic act. No care for possessions, for luxuries. Pile of slag. Those people bargain harder than the winter frost.
Are you some kind of merchant? You don't seem to have any wares.
More of an explorer.
But you send other people to do your exploring.
All right, more of an opportunist. Girl. Nora girl. Huntress. We live in a world of opportunities. Risky opportunities. But why should risk stand in the way of a lucrative prospect for the likes of me? All right. I'm more of a gambler.
Are you some kind of... But you...
Risky.
Whoops.
All right.
If I did look into your rumor...
You won't need to climb up the shoulders of the world for it. It's on the edge of Banuk land, beneath the anvil of the moon. And you look like you know your way around the savage east. The east. If it's true they walk among machines without fear in this camp, well, you can't miss that, can you? Payment on return.
You know, that could be something that we need to look into, because if we can figure out a way to control the metal beasts instead of going into these cauldrons, that might be something to look at. Anyway, so I try not to be ungenuine when it comes to, or ingenuine when it comes to my voiceovers, but I also want you guys to feel like I've played the game, because I played the game. So one of the things that I have done is I've actually played this game 3 years ago. Now, don't laugh, but that's when I did. So, to be quite honest, this is probably as new to me as you know, with regards to the gameplay that I know, with some notable differences like key points in plot. So, you know, I know everything that's good. Well, I know the ending, but it will all be different as how to get there. So, in that essence, I'm trying to make it as authentic as possible. So, there's something over there. Data point, good. So the smaller points in here. Oh, what's that? So the smaller points I won't know about, which might give me a reaction. So that in itself is authentic. Now the biggest downfall for me when it comes to doing voiceovers post playing the game is the fact that I need to spend more time to put those voiceovers in effect. Okay, here's a priest.
Nora, I'm the mournful Naman. My apologies that we meet like this.
Like this?
In brief, you hold yours close, like a talisman. Wait, forgive me. You didn't come for reparations? Someone you lost to the Sun Ring?
No. I know about the Red Raids, but the Carja owe me nothing.
I see. Well, I could use the help of a strong-willed outlander. Then I would owe you very much indeed. These people seek to honor their loved, their lost, with their own voices, not mouthing Carja rituals to Carja stone. But there are obstacles. While Meridian holds its breath for any disturbance, these robes only tie my hands.
What kind of obstacles?
The first pilgrim is an Oseram, who seeks to visit the Shrine of Kings on the road to the city. He waits there now, forbidden to enter by an old sun priest who suffered no heathen. This Utaru lost her companion on the edge of the jewel, at a pool where snap moths gather. The shrine was built there to ward off the machines, yet its effectiveness leaves much to be desired. And the Manuk would paint a mark on the sun's climb, a call to the machine spirits, I understand. They need no beckoning. Glint hawks perch there, drawn to the spires shining.
So, clear the machines out of 2 shrines and move a priest out of the other.
All I can ask for is your charity and that their stories are heard.
Naman, rituals and prayers can't bring back those who are lost.
No, but it can help those who grieve to find themselves. It can lend them strength and hope, like a new sunrise.
I didn't think your priesthood would ask outsiders for help.
If only the sun would set on our pride. Until this is done, I am no sun priest. To wear a red robe was an aspiration. I aspired. Now our hoods make us blind. We whisper reconciliation, but forget how the old king's priests sang the words and blessed the killing.
The killing? You mean the Red Raids?
Yes. And the sacrifices that came after.
Why did the priests go along with all that bloodshed?
Sometimes we Carja are more concerned with what is tradition than what is right.
Huh. Maybe the Carja and Nora aren't so different. You're disappointed with the Sun Priests, but you still wanted to be one?
I spent my whole life looking up to the temple. My brother's voice echoing in its arches. Even he couldn't turn me away, and how he tried, in the end. He said, when we were loved, our robes were dyed in cinnabar. Now they are stained in blood.
How so?
Our robes are handed down to us. Most of the old priests fled rather than be seen in the glare of the new sun. And so we are left to wear their sins. For me, at least, they hang heavy.
Where is your brother now?
He waits for me on the trail of the sun, I hope. He spoke out against the sacrifices. For a priest to question the Sun King's will, his punishment was worst of all.
You lost someone you loved too. I'm sorry.
No, not lost. When I took on these robes, I found his memory.
I'll do what I can to help those in mourning.
To honor their memories is to honor us all.
That is really cool. Okay, so the biggest drawback, as I said, is if I'm doing voiceovers post, that means I need time, which I, at this, it's, you know, like at this moment is, you know, quite difficult to find. Whereas if I do it in the midst of the game, then I don't have to do a post voiceover unless something really terrible has happened, like, you know, me forgetting to turn the mic on, which is almost impossible. So that's the biggest of the drawbacks. But when I do have time, I'd like to do the post voiceover because, you know, for me it just sounds a bit better. Although I'm trying to do both. Like this next series that will come out, but it will come out in drips and drabs, is sort of based on an indie game called Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4. Now, if you are familiar with the Tenkaichi series, you know it only went up to Budokai 3, or Budokai Tenkaichi 3. I mean, there is a Budokai. But what's happened is that a few fans have actually taken the actual game Budokai Tenkaichi 3 and have modded it so that it has new characters, new transformations, and a new history, which is basically based on Dragon Ball Super, which is amazing because we've always been waiting for a new Tenkaichi series. And spoilers, if you've been living under a rock, they are bringing out a new Tenkaichi series, a mainstream one, not made by indies, by the indie circuit or independents, and it will be releasing on the PS5, which is amazing, but also not amazing for me, because I only have a PS4 for these kind of recordings. So yeah, that doesn't help. And you know what rubs salt in the wounds is that, like, all the games now, all the new games that are coming out now are not going to be coming out on the PS4, because now they're going to be more exclusive to PS5. Now, why is that terrible for me? Well, because I'm getting into the fighting game genre. If you have not seen it, then I want you on Mondays and Tuesdays. I do a live stream of called Monday Mayhem and Taboo Tuesday. It used to be for wrestling, but now it's become a place where I train up. For Monday it's Mortal Kombat 11, and for Tuesday it is Tekken 7. Now here's the problem: the new Tekken and Mortal Kombat games, along with Street Fighter and every other like fighting game that you can think of under the sun, is now exclusive to PS5, which means if I want to play the latest Mortal Kombat, or the latest Street Fighter, or the latest Tekken, I need a PS5. Now that's the problem, because I don't have the console is great and grand, and I'm definitely going to get one, but it's going to take a while for me to get a PS5 because they're so damn expensive. And it'll be good for me because Horizon also has a sequel, and that's also on PS5. Yes, it's on PS4, but I don't want to play it on PS4. I want to play it on PS5. Do some recordings on that because it looks absolutely amazeballs. So yeah, that is the unfortunate thing, that if I want to, if I'm going to play the latest Mortal Kombat, which strange enough is not called Mortal Kombat 11, it's now being released as Mortal Kombat 1. Figure that out, because there's already the original Mortal Kombat, and they did a reboot. The PS3 did a reboot of Mortal Kombat, same name, and now it's Mortal Kombat 1. I sort of understand that because of the way that Mortal Kombat 11 ended. I'm not going to spoil it for you if you don't know. So it's sort of like a reboot, but not a reboot. Like, it's more of a continuation of the narrative, but it isn't. Confusing, I know. So yeah, and then we know that Street Fighter 6 is nearing release, and Tekken 8 is around the corner. So yeah, guys, crazy things are happening. games are happening, games are coming out, and I just want to play them. I don't see a problem with that. So I'm saving up for a PS5, and when I finally get it, I'll let you know. Okay. So we've taken a bit of a hiatus as well. We did take a little bit of a break between Star Trip and this. This should be airing in the first week of July if I've calculated everything correctly. So there has been a bit of a break. So sometimes that's good, sometimes it's not good, but I hope you guys are back and ready to rock. Simultaneously, we should have premiered Frosty Plays Final Fantasy, I think it's now Final Fantasy 3, which is basically a callback or sort of a going back in time, because for Final Fantasy 1 and 2 we used the Game Boy Advance version. However, for Final Fantasy 3 we've gone back to the Nintendo. Now, if you have been following Final Fantasy, you should know that there's a pixel remaster of Final Fantasy. However, understand that sometimes with the processing speed... Hold on.
You saw the thief make a run for it?
My back was to the wall, you see. Wasn't expecting someone to crawl out the window. He ran past me, dressed in gray, clutching the sword. That's all I saw. By the sun, my heart nearly seized up.
Why does this sound very odd? Anyway, so we're looking around and seeing if there's any evidence. So because the pixel remaster, when I tried to record it, started doing very strange things to my capture hardware, or the capture software. It started to lag a bit, and I think that was just because I didn't have enough RAM at that moment.
Drops of blood leading away.
Okay, it looks like we're hot on the trail of this of the sword. That's good. So we'll follow it. So anyway, before we get into the action, looks like. So I decided to go back to Final Fantasy 3 for Nintendo. However, the beginning intro is in the pixel remaster because it actually did record quite clearly. So I'm happy about that. Oh, looks like I'm going to have to be ready. So that's going to be quite good.
Still more blood.
So a little bit of insider information. At this current stage, July of 2023, I've now played through everything up to Final Fantasy 6 for the Frosty Plays series. So now we're going from Super Nintendo. What's going on here?
Did someone run past here, holding a sword?
Sure did. He grabbed some linen off the stand here and took off down the stairs behind you. He was bleeding, so maybe he needed a binding. Blast it! That was expensive cloth. I can't believe I paid for that thief's bandage.
Okay, we're hot on the trail. So I'm going to have to start, and that was on the Super Nintendo. So now for the next game, Final Fantasy 7, I'm either going to play it for the PC or...
If the thief came this way, there's only one way he could have gone.
Or for the sound purpose, because that's more MIDI. I might play Final Fantasy 7 on the PS1 Classic that I have.
Someone must have seen him go by.
Okay, let's look around. Let's ask this guy.
Did you see anyone
Lady.
run through here? He would have been holding a sword.
Yeah, almost crashed into me too. He ran down the parapet here and went down the lift. No way you'll catch him now. I didn't see a sword though.
He wasn't carrying anything.
Not a damn thing. Just ran like his ass was on fire.
The thief must have ditched the sword. But where? Maybe.
Okay, time to go back and
that
see.
Merchant stall would have been a convenient drop-off.
See, something doesn't sound right, so let's go back. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm gonna probably play that. Okay, let's run back. And then Final Fantasy 8 and Final Fantasy 9. But the only thing is with these Final Fantasy games. Okay, let's hold on quickly. It's that merchant. Speak to her.
Found any Banuk relics in the wilds, Outlander?
It looks like the thief got away, but without the sword. I thought maybe he dropped it off somewhere. Like here, for instance?
What? No. I had nothing to do with this.
I guess we'll see when I get the city guard to toss your stall and question your customers.
Hold on. There's more to this. You've got a reputation for shining light in the darkness, so I know you'll listen. You're right. The sword was passed to me, and I passed it on to someone else. It's going to be sold, but not for profit. The shards will go to people in need.
You expect me to believe that?
I can prove it. Meet my friends at the watermill in the lower village. They'll explain everything. If they don't convince you, come right back with the guards. I'm not going anywhere.
It wouldn't matter if you did. I'd find you. But all right. I'll check out the watermill. Okay.
Okay, that already sounds like a trap.
Then to find out what's going on.
Yeah, it already sounds like a trap, but let's go there. Let's do that. Maybe we'll save over there as well. Yeah, so but with those Final Fantasy games, they are significantly longer, so it might mean that the Frosty players will take a longer hiatus instead of just 1 month all the time. It might take a few months, and then I'll have enough game footage to do what needs to be done. We'll see about that. There are a lot of things that I want to play, guys, and it's quite hectic. Like I said, that Budokai Tenkaichi 4. I've also picked up a little game called Octopath Traveler, or as the Americans said, Octopath Traveler. The first one, and just playing through the first few minutes just to get myself around what it looks like. It's breathtaking, and I really want to play it, so I might do that. There's also other PS1 games that are amazing when it comes to role-playing games, like Xenogears. I mean, the first Xenogears game looks amazing as well. Look, PS1 games obviously have not aged very well, but like the 16-bit era and the 8-bit era, the games, when it comes to playability, has been, it's still there, and I want to pick that up. Now, I'm not saying that PS4 games don't have playability, but there's something, I think, nostalgic about 16-bits, 8-bits, and PS1s that I like, and to be honest, that's why a lot of people still play retro games. It's reliving their childhood. So I love those channels on YouTube that's like AVGN, which rips off all the terrible Nintendo games and all of that. But you know what, other reviewers I'd like to watch. AVGN is just the first one that comes to mind. I mean, there's also other people that do top 10s. I wish I could do a top 10, but I haven't played as many games as I'd like in order to necessitate a top 10 RPG or top 10 adventure game or top 10 this. But I do want to. Look, I'll be honest as well, I'm not too familiar a lot with 16-bit games, although 8-bits I am. For example, and you got to sit down for this one, I actually have not played Super Mario World, but I want to. Okay, so we've saved. So those kind of things, I want to play them. I want to record it so you can experience the joy that I have had for the first time. Okay.
Fairest prices for machine parts under the mesa. No tithes to the Sun Court. Not like those greedy snarls upside.
She's not interested in taxes.
I know what she's not interested in. As I was saying, no better offer for snap-maw lenses. I'd give my oath on it.
By the sun, don't start spitting in your palm. Huntress, I apologize on behalf of my partner. Silent partner.
Silent partner?
If the sun would only grant my prayers. Never mind snap-maw lenses, Huntress. There's no market for those. A long-leg lens, though, you'd be well rewarded for.
So which,
No market for a snap-maw lens is good, strong stuff. You can hammer it into anything.
Where do you think we are? Some trading post with sawdust on the floor? This is Meridian. We have culture.
I know culture. Just the other day I was watching the hunting trials.
Oh, great sun, lend me the strength of midday.
The sun's baked your head if you think we'll shift long-leg lenses at a time like this.
hello?
I've told you as many times as the spire is tall, craft and artisanship is who we are.
Craft doesn't win a war or keep the machines from your farms. What you need is good, old-fashioned, plain...
Oh, yes. Old-fashioned, plain hammered work. If ever something glittered, you'd throw it back.
If Carja had built that elevator, they would have stopped at a good-looking shaft.
All those years of delving, and you never found a sense of humor.
Enough!
Well?
They're a blunt people, the Nora.
Why do you two even work together if you can't agree on anything?
It's a symbolic gesture.
No tithes to the Sun Court. Like I said in the beginning, Renine.
Just tell me which part you want.
A long-leg lens.
A snap-maw lens.
Fine. I can see that you're busy.
Wait. You drove her off. Snap-maw lens. What do you say?
I drove her off? That's rich. Listen, Huntress. Long-leg lens.
Hunters, scroungers, bring us your medal.
Good to see you.
I'm probably gonna have to get both.
I wouldn't say agree.
Demand and
She's
supply.
dressed like a Banuk savage, the kind that whispers to machines.
Okay, so we need to get to the watermill, and then we're gonna check out what's happening. So yeah, no, definitely a lot of things that I've been. Oh, there we go. That I've learned over this past time. So, and I want to share it with you guys. I think this is a good time, seeing as for when it comes to Horizon Zero Dawn, there's more opportunity for me to speak. Whereas when it comes to Mass Effect 2, there's more action going on. There's more things going on which I have to stop and let you guys experience it, and that's what I want to do for that. So it's going to be good. I like the exploration. I like speaking to you guys. So I'm going to do that, and hopefully I have something worthwhile to say as you watching this walkthrough, guys. Anyway, so we're going to have to be careful, as you know, with these machines. We need to be careful. However, we also need to be careful of bandits and other humans that think that Aloy is going to just keel over. So let's get ready for this little skirmish that we might have. Something still tells me it's going to be a trap, but I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but let's see. So we need to get the sword, and hopefully this is where the sword is. Charity and everything. Okay, looks like we need to go in there.
Did you hear the one about the boar, the grazer, and the sun priest?
And there we go. So let's talk to this guy.
I was told to expect you, Aloy. I suppose you want answers. Well, it's not complicated. We collect valuable objects from people who don't need them, sell them for shards, and use the money to help the needy at Sunfall.
You mean you steal?
If you want to call it that. From hogs who've had their turn at the trough for generations.
Ravon didn't seem like a hog to me.
He stinks just like the rest of them, of wealth and contentment, while people beneath him suffer.
Who exactly gets the shards at Sunfall?
Not the bastards in the fortress. We use the shards to make sure the poor in Shadowside get to eat, or bandage their wounds. They only went west because they had to. Trust me, I know. My wife was chained up with a bunch of servants and herded with them. They starved to death, still bound together.
Oh my.
I'm sorry.
So am I.
Where's the sword now?
Safe. I haven't sold it yet.
What do you expect me to do now? Walk away?
I was hoping you'd help us. They say you can track like a stalker. Well, my partner Nassan disappeared near the branded shore. He was bound for Sunfall, along with an entire shipment of food. If you found that, you'd be helping a lot of people.
I'll consider it. But only if you return the sword to Ravon.
I knew you were gonna say that. Fine, I'll return the damn blade. Nassan was supposed to meet his contact at an old campfire on the fork near the branded shore. Start looking there. But be careful. Lots of machines out there, and lots of Shadow Carja. And not the needy kind, but they're tormentors.
Always stay bright, always stay
alert. Oh goody. So, if we have not explored a place, then we need to actually travel there by foot. Which, yeah, it does make things a little bit more troublesome, but that's fine. So we do need to do some side quests just to build some capital. So I see there is that would be the Snapjaw lens or Snapjaw site that we can go to. And if I have a look at other places, there are quite a few places that we can go in order to, you know, build some capital. So if we take a look around over here, you can see that we've actually, you know, with the maps that we got in Meridian, we've located quite a few places. Like we've located all of the cauldrons, which is a good thing. And the long leg, or the walkers as well. You know, the tall legs. I think that's what they're called, or long legs. Anyway, so they used to open up the area so we can see what's happening. All right, so we have some skill points that we can assign. It looks like double shot should be a good one because we can then shoot twice. You know, and be ready for that. But we'll. Is it an important skill to have at the moment? That's a very good question. Yes, it is. Okay, and now we have 2 more left that we can use for combat override. So I guess fighting and overriding certain creatures in the forager section. And that might be a nice thing to have, as because we open it up and then we can open up some other things as well. So I think, but then yes, so we're going to try and get some of the forager things sorted out, because we want to use the fact that we can override some of these creatures in order to sort that out. But anyway, guys, I will see you next time, so take care of yourselves and each other.